Welcome to Secura Law Experience. My name is Eduardo Borgard, and I'm here with
Shane Stone.
Jerry Surlaya.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming. This kind of podcast is going to be the first of its kind. This is the first time we have a client and his broker. So we're going to talk about his experience during the process. So that begs the question, Jerry, how do you decide to actually come down here, and what's going on in your kind of life that make you make this choice, right?
So I'm originally from Canada. I moved down here with my wife and two kids.
How long ago?
6 months ago now.
Wow. Nice.
But it took us about almost 2 years to make the entire move. We came for various reasons. I guess broad view is we're just tired of like the whole rat race, 9 to 5 thing, working in Canada for nothing. It seems like you just can't get ahead anymore. So we're just kind of tired of it. And we decided to look elsewhere. In Mexico, we've come to Mexico for over a decade, always in Playa or Cancun.
Oh, really? So you know Playa?
Yes.
Nice.
We visited, several times a year all the time. And then we just decided, we came actually last year to maybe look for investment property. But then we just decided why don't we actually move here?
Really?
And that's kind of how it started. And then that's how I got a hold of Shane. And that's when we first met, when he first took us last year to see some houses. And then we went back home for probably 14 months, right?
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys were still in touch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much. And then, it took us 14 months from the day that we met him originally to actually make the whole move.
Wow.
So it was like a long time process, but that's kind of how we got here and why we decided to just do it.
And how did you meet him? Like, he was a walkthrough?
Google.
I think it was through a YouTube walkthrough video that Mike had done, and he reached out to us.
Yeah.
And we went from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you have like a something with the social media?
Yes. So I started.
Or what do you do?
So I knew that this was kind of like a hot topic or a trending thing. Like everyone in Canada, especially around us, were like, "Oh, Canada's not in the greatest economical standpoint."
Shape, right?
Yeah. So everyone's always talked about leaving or going to the U.S. or Florida was like a big one. But we didn't really want to go to Florida, and we're like the 1% of the crazy people who actually do it. So I knew it was kind of a trending topic that people are actively looking to exit Canada or go live abroad. So I decided to just document our story, and I started with Instagram, an account called Mexican Vlogs with 2 S's. It's the same handle on all social platforms. And then it literally took off like overnight. I think 2 days after we landed, I did my first real post, and it went viral somehow, and then just kind of escalated from there, and it was literally overnight.
So you've been documented that?
Yes.
The whole time?
Exactly.
We're going to put your links here.
Sure.
So people can go check it out and see your story, right?
Sure.
Firsthand. So the important part here is for you to share, right?
Sure.
The whole process with us, because it's very different from when you start thinking about it, from when you start acting, and then you surround yourself with the professionals that will help you get that done, right?
Sure.
So I will ask Shane on your side, what was the very first thing that you thought would be his ideal property for him after knowing him? Right?
Yeah. The first thing that popped in my head was, because of where he was coming from and the style of house that they had in Canada, something maybe like Espuja residences where they get the private beach club and stuff like that. But we quickly found out that they were looking for more of a community and with kids.
Like a gated community kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think with other kids around, because our kids are young, so we wanted.
How old are them?
9 and 4.
Yeah.
And so our kids are the same age, which is great, and they get along most of the time, as kids do. So it's I think he found a good fit in where we ended up.
Yeah, I think originally we wanted like a jungle property or land or
Like to
whatever.
be.
Yeah, but then we quickly realized that it's not what we wanted.
Well, there are challenges
Yes.
living like that, right? Because
Definitely.
you're so disconnected. Then forever, if you want to go for something to the grocery, it's like
It's a
30
trek.
minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, like-
and then it's not that ideal.
Exactly. Like I think in Canada we had some acreage and then we were country property, but we were within city limits, so the grocery store was never that far. We had water from a well, and then we had natural gas as opposed to like a propane tank, which is pretty common here. So we weren't concerned about that, but then it was mostly distance, the fact that you're in the middle of the jungle with no one around you. And like if you want to hang out with people or your kids have school or friends, like we wanted to get away from having to spend so much time in the car and driving
Yeah.
everywhere. So that's not why we moved here. We wanted to get away from that. So living in the jungle was just kind of like feeling
Doing the
like,
same.
Exactly.
Yeah, and down here, I mean, we're not a town anymore, but we're
Right.
a very small city, to
Mhm.
be honest. But you get still like the town kind of vibes,
100%.
right? So that's something beautiful that catches people that are
Right.
running from cities, right?
Exactly.
So, how do you feel when you actually said like, this is the property? I want to like start looking into it and look for us and
Well, we had our initially when we first came to visit the first time around when we met Shane. We were kind of all over the place on what we wanted to look at. And I'm sure it drove him nuts.
you gave him tours throughout the whole city, right?
And it's not uncommon, right? I mean, the first thing we focus on is community and lifestyle, how people want to live. So a lot of times, most people don't know all of the areas, and it's hard even for us to know all of the areas because there's so much, right?
Yeah, usually people go for Playa kind of thing, right?
Right.
Portaventuras.
Exactly.
Those
Those
like
are the ones you see
are the main
online.
ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we like we do with all of our clients, first time is just let's go look at different communities. We'll see maybe a house in each, so you get an idea of what's there, but base it on where you're going to be instead of what you're going to be in, because the community is such a huge, important piece of living.
But did you ever pivot it between a house and a unit, like a condo?
We did. We toyed with it, but I think at the end of the day, we still gravitated towards a house just because we also have dogs.
Yeah, your family.
Yeah, it was. We've lived in a condo before, and like before we had kids, and the up and down and using the elevators, and we didn't like that part. And then if you want to let your dogs out, like where do they go? You had to go downstairs in the elevator. So we really didn't want to do that, but we did see some pretty nice condos, I think, which were really nice, but
Not for your lifestyle.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think when you first came, you're like staying in the condos that you
That's
were in
right.
before the house was delivered
That's
to
right.
him. He got a real glimpse of condo life, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Man, I gotta get in this house."
Yeah, I think condo life just doesn't fit our lifestyle now. Maybe
Yeah,
when our kids
usually
get
when
older,
you have a big
but
family and kids and pets,
yeah, it's
condo,
not,
it's not a.
it's not,
big
it's not
idea.
conducive. Also, most condos are like downtown and it's super loud. It's very noisy, so we wanted to get out away from that a little
Nice. And so, how many houses did you show them? To be honest.
I think it was around maybe 20,
No way.
bit. Maybe more.
maybe more.
That's a record for you?
I think with one client that would be a record. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we knew what we wanted. I think at the end of the day.
Very specific,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of properties and we tried to envision them working for us, but at the end of the day, we already knew where we wanted to go.
What was the main thing that you were looking for? Like, living room,
Uh,
rooms, yard?
It was like house had to be like very cool looking. Like we kind
Modern.
of we wanted that Mexican architecture, like modern Mexican look, or
Yeah.
like let's say call it Tulum kind of look, without being in Tulum.
Eco chic kind of thing, right?
Yes,
Like with chukum and stuff.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of get
And
it.
then we wanted good amenities. We wanted kids to be around, and we didn't want to be too far from everything. And those were kind of like the main criteria, I think. And we wanted some like nature around. Like you walk some communities and it's just a subdivision
A
with
little
no
bit of
trees.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, we say 20, maybe more properties, but once we located the area, showing 5 houses in the same community is
Yes.
quick. It's easy, right? So
Yeah, because
it's not
they're
like we're
right
driving
next
down to
to
Tulum and
each other.
back to Puerto Morelos and, back and forth. So
Did you ever visit like Tulum or Puerto
Yeah.
Morelos?
Went with my wife when before we had kids. I think we went also on our honeymoon. We actually spent our honeymoon in Mexico.
No way.
So we went to Tulum there, went to Akumal, and like we saw the whole like East Coast there.
Riviera Maya.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so when you decided, that's when we step in, right?
Yes. So
And we help you throughout the whole process. How do you feel us accompanying you through this process? Because as a foreigner, it's language barrier.
Yeah.
Legislation's different.
Exactly. So we are learning Spanish, and like everyone's like, "Oh, you know French, like you can speak. It's going to be easy for you." That's not true. I'm just going to say that it's not true
It's the
because
same root as a language, but it's totally different.
but the way you pronounce things or read it is totally different, and it throws you off. So like I can speak French. My mom is from Quebec, so like I have that foundation, but it doesn't translate into Spanish at all. So it's been a little difficult. So like the language barrier is a huge part of this whole process. Like it's very tough, and that's why I think we worked with Shane initially, because he's been here a while, and he has all the connections. He knows enough Spanish to get by, but also speaks English, which is good, right? So it helped. But then when he brought you guys in, like he recommended working with you guys, which we thought was amazing. We met Luis, and he speaks English very well as well. So at one point we just kind of entrusted that he was going to do everything properly in his power to make sure that we're not, screwed over or whatever. So at one point I just kind of gave up and just said, you handle it.
Yes, yeah.
And we just trusted that he did his job, and he did it really well, and we're happy with it.
That's something funny that you mentioned there, because usually we get 2 types of clients. We usually get the ones that are very involved in the process, and they usually try to know every single step. And we have the other side that says, we trust you, you're the professional, go ahead, we'll let you do your work. Both are fine, both are excellent clients, but sometimes you get with someone that really it's like very control freak.
Sure.
And they get stressed a lot. And sometimes something we've learned over these more than 10 years that we've been around is that when you have some sort of type of like not bad but negative energy towards something, things start slowing down, things start to happen, and it complicates stuff, right? So we always try to tell clients and brokers to just relax and just go with the flow.
Yes.
And things will align, and things will happen, for sure.
I think for my wife and I, we try to be as involved as we can sometimes, but then going through the whole process when we got here, it's very overwhelming. Like it's not.
You're moving on top of that, right?
Yes. So there's like everything happening at once, and then trying to dig into the documents that we're signing, having it in English, which is maybe not an exact perfect translation, and trying to understand it in Spanish. Like it's very, very time consuming. It just gets to the point where it gets too overwhelming. And if we trusted that Shane recommended you guys, and then we trusted Shane at this point, we just kind of went with it. And like you said, you just hire the professionals. They're there for a reason. So we just entrusted that you guys would do your jobs correctly and, not do us harm. So we just said, okay, you guys handle it. Tell us where to sign.
Of course.
At this point.
And not only was I working with Jerry, but I was also a client of Secure Law too.
At some point,
when I purchased my land too, and I worked directly with Luis as well. And I knew he was in good hands, So I remember at your signing, he was about to sign. He looked at Luis. He's like, "You read this, right?"
That was exactly what I said, because at one point I just checked out. I said, "Okay, let me know where I sign when, and then just go with it." And like throughout the process, Luis did handle it, and he did communicate a lot of things. Like he's like, "Oh, I don't like this term, or this should be reworded." So he was very open with his communications, and then we would ask questions based on that. But as far as, us trying to manhandle the whole thing. Like, we just gave up. We just let him do it, and he was very thorough. And there's a lot of things. It shows from his experience that he knows what he's doing, and he always had our best interests at heart. So we're very thankful for that, and I would highly recommend working with him again, especially like, it's a language barrier thing. So if you're dealing with foreigners, like, Luis is like a really good guy to have on your side.
Yeah, I mean that's the main focus of us, because I mean there are a ton of law firms and a ton of notaries, but how we try to differentiate ourselves is through the client and the way we give our services, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because not everybody has the same interest
Sure.
as the priority, right? Some people want things fast. Some people like to take slow and
Sure.
really review each step, right? So we try to adjust to every client and to every broker, because at the end of the day, you're looking for a service.
Right. And I think we are generally the type to want things now, fast or whatever, but
Our generation, right? Like
Yes.
just click
now.
Yes.
But some things tend to go a little slower or take longer. So we have to adjust our expectations as well. Because again, we're just moving to a different country. It just doesn't work the same.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it's just part of the process of like the little things you don't realize when you're moving and everything going on. You're like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And that being said, what would be any advice that you would give to people that want to invest or move to this country from your experience, right? Taking into account everything, the part of contacting your broker, looking for a law firm, moving down here, your stuff, right?
Yeah, so I would say, like, from an investment point, I don't know if I'm able to chime in on that yet because I haven't invested quite yet.
Like you're qualified, right?
Yeah, so I wouldn't really say too much, but I would say maybe reach out to your broker first. Definitely before you do anything, whether you move or invest, like actually go visit the place, see what you're looking in, see if you like the area, talk to people. And then once you do that, then you can make your decision. I would say that's just any sound investment strategy first. But then as far as moving, definitely visit, definitely see if it's for you, like come short term, long term, like stay for a little bit, because there's a lot of things that maybe, when you visit Mexico and you go to the resort, it's not the same as when you live.
Right. Stay in the area that you're looking to buy.
Exactly.
Right?
I think
Rent.
Airbnb and vacational rentals open that gap a lot, because usually I think back in the day it used to be only to the all-inclusives.
Right.
And
right.
sometimes they take like a bus to the Fifth Avenue, and that's it. So actually being able to stay at the condos, at the units.
That's right. There's like a lot of little things when you live somewhere that you don't realize. Like, back home you need a screwdriver. You need some screws to go to Home Depot. I didn't know this, but there's a Home Depot here. Yeah. But like, it's not necessarily as accessible. Like, if you don't have a car, how do you get there? Do you bike? Do you walk? Like, Playa in general is pretty walkable, but if you start going out, you might need a car, or you might need to take a taxi, or learn all of the public transits and stuff. But there's just different rules and different things that you don't necessarily think of. I know, like, if you lock all your stuff into a closet, it'll go moldy.
Oh, yeah.
So
do you have to learn that the hard way?
No, I thankfully had people tell me this, so we've been very cautious and we haven't had it happen. But
because usually people puts away their stuff for cold, right? For Christmas, and next year when they try to open it, it's all messed up.
Yeah, you have to let it vent. You can't put anything, if it's a little damp or a little, like, it feels kind of dry, like, because you left it outside, but it's humid, it's not necessarily dry, and you put that away, it'll go bad. So there's like a lot of things that you have to learn that are totally different, especially when you're coming from like Canada or the US, where it's not the same climate at all.
You guys have like literally 4 stations.
Yeah.
Here it's summer all year long.
It's summer and then really, really hot summer.
Hot and hotter, yeah. Exactly.
As we're in Canada, it's like,
Yeah, because our Christmas or winter, it's not even, it's like your cold summer, right?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like there's maybe 3 days a year that I can put on like a hoodie sweater and that's it. But I take advantage of that because it.
You kind of miss it.
I do miss it in a way. I won't say that I miss the cold, like Canada.
Right.
Like -40 is cold. But even living here through a summer, which Jerry will experience this winter, I told him, in February there's nobody in the pools. And he's like, no way.
Yeah, because for us, that's cold.
Right.
Right?
So
And that's like 28 or 30 degrees.
Yeah, I think like when we used to visit, we come during the winter months. We're like at a resort and everyone's swimming. It's, January, February, March, everyone's in the pool. But I think everybody says once you acclimatize and you're here, you don't go in the pool because it's freezing.
And have you already?
So we moved in the dead of summer. Everyone's like, this is as hot as it gets. We didn't run ACs during the day. Like we were trying to acclimatize. And it was pretty like, the first few weeks were pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. And
of
we were
course,
in
you're like sweating. There's a lot of
it was
humidity.
just sweating all the time.
That's the problem here, though, because when there's like a lot of hotness, like it's heat.
Yeah.
The humidity
It's
it's what kills you.
Right.
Because you go take a shower and as soon as you step out, you start sweating again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So we were trying to live through that. I don't know if that was maybe the best advice. But they said to try to acclimatize, but like, yeah, like we literally went through May, June, July without running the air conditioner.
Do you
during
do
the day.
sports by any chance?
Not since
Golf?
here. No,
Anything outside?
Not yet.
That's when you learn.
Exactly. So, that's one thing you learn, and like we got pretty used to the heat, and then we found that we started using the air conditioning, and then like the moment you go outside, you're like, oh man, like you just restart and you can't deal with it. But maybe it was because it was hotter. I don't know. I wasn't checking the weather.
I mean, I'm a local. I've been here the 32 years of my life.
Right.
I cannot live without AC.
Right.
Impossible.
I think like if you don't have AC and you have no breeze and just a fan, like it's not gonna work.
No, it's unbearable.
It's really rough.
I mean, going through the night without an AC, I can't imagine it.
No, we were using it during the night for sure, just not during the day. There's no way.
It's crazy. Like your sheets stick to you. Because
Yeah,
you're
no.
sweating.
I think if you're trying to sleep without air conditioning at night, I don't think it's doable.
Yeah, no.
And that's the best part is that everything here
Has it.
has AC.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when you go to a restaurant, it's the first thing that you're looking for. Like, you have AC?
Even when you're walking down the street and they just have the doors open,
Yeah.
and you feel this inviting breeze of cold air, and you're like, I'm just gonna go in here for a minute.
Especially like if you're walking down Fifth, those stores that have their doors open with the AC blasting, like, why? You're just trying to cool down outside of this.
Did you like the Fifth Avenue? Or
Yeah, of
or
course.
What's your favorite part?
Of Playa or
The Fifth Avenue.
I like the restaurants. It's always a good vibe. There's always people. Like some people say, "Why would you move to Playa? It's a tourist town." But I actually like that.
It has tourist traps.
It does.
for sure.
We just have to know to avoid them. Like, don't go in for the free tequila.
Yeah. No.
Don't sign up for the tours or like people try to come get you there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's other ways to do it. But I think once you know that, like, it's fine and just say no, thank you.
You like kind of the Italian side of the Fifth Avenue where all those restaurants are?
Is that all the Italian side? Like,
Yeah, it's like, I call it Little Italy for us,
Right.
really, because it's literally owned by Italians. Like, the
Andersons?
whole section of that is only Italians. And
Is
that's
that like
where,
the Anderson branch of
where you
stuff?
see all the Italian restaurants.
Right.
So
fair enough.
it's and we also have like our Argentinian side.
Right.
We have a lot of communities down here.
I-
We usually used to have a Canadian bar
Is
where-
it the
where-
French one?
where you could see like hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
There's
good
still like Los Tabernacles.
Yeah, but we had other one at
Okay.
Fifth Avenue.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now they just changed it to like a Mexican restaurant, something
Interesting.
like that. Yeah.
Cool.
But my best friend it's Canadian,
Yeah.
Mexican Canadian, so we used to go there.
Nice.
I never understood hockey, but
I don't either. Don't worry
yeah,
about it.
it's kind of fun.
It is.
I played it for years, so
Really.
yeah. Yeah.
I never
I
played.
lost a few teeth from it.
Yeah, that's something that I don't understand. Like you're watching them play and then fight.
Half visors.
Yeah, and like they let them go at it. And that's kind of
Mostly
something
for the
very
fighting.
unique for that sport, right?
Well, yeah, that and lacrosse similar. The only difference is lacrosse you're on feet, so the punches land.
Yeah.
harder. On skates you have to have balance.
Yeah, to balance, yeah.
But yeah,
And that's the part with the Fifth Avenue, right? You have a place for every nationality down here.
You do. I like.
Because I think we have more than 26 nationalities
Oh,
down here to the last census.
Crazy. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I know, like, just talking to people, you meet obviously a lot of Americans and Canadians, but then you do actually meet quite a few Europeans.
Yeah.
A lot more than you think.
Yeah.
Um,
Italian, Spanish,
yeah.
from Britain, from East Europe.
Yeah.
Dutch, German, I've
Right.
met
Polish.
lots.
We have a Russian community here.
Yeah.
Definitely lots of Russians. It's pretty, I've met lots of Polish people too. Like, it's pretty diverse.
Yeah.
Not many Asian people, though.
Yeah, right?
I haven't seen many Asians. So.
Well, if you go to the Chinese restaurants,
There's a couple.
they're mostly owned by them.
Yes.
But outside of that, you won't see
No.
much.
So, but it's probably because it's the same climate and they don't come back here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall, like, Fifth is a nice place. And personally, we liked Playa, why we picked it. And like I said, people loved, like, why wouldn't you go to Merida or like Puerto Morelos or something? Like, well, we have kids. We like people and being around people, and we like doing things. And Playa has all of that.
And from a point of view of a kid that grew up here, you're doing a favor to your kids.
Sure.
Because even when you're in school, you're surrounded by every single nationality.
That's true.
And you get to pick up their culture from a very young age. When you're visiting to their houses,
For
when
sure.
you're playing, they get to listen to a lot of languages and
Definitely.
maybe learn them. That's how I learned English.
it's quite amazing. I mean, my kids have been in school here for 3 years now, and my two oldest, I call it kidlingual. They can speak Spanish like a light switch English. They
No
can go back
way.
and forth. They make fun of my Spanish. It's a good time. But yeah, watching that develop was, as a parent, it's quite amazing.
Yeah, because you are giving them the tools that you didn't have, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like in Canada, in our schooling, we are forced to learn French. And for me, not having a francophone side of my family,
Was hard, right?
I was always good at school, but it wasn't something I wanted to learn as a kid.
Happens to us with English.
Right. And it's like, why am I learning this? I'm not going to go live in Quebec. I'm like, I live in Ontario. Like, so after grade 10, we don't have to take French anymore.
Drop it.
And then, so it's like, that's done now. I can remove all of that from my head. And then,
Never go back, right?
unless I'm here,
Actually,
because I hear there's so many French Canadians here too.
Yeah.
There's a lot. So
Kind of nuts.
I do hear,
really,
There's a lot.
there's a lot of French Canadians. Yeah, for sure.
that's
I
awesome.
think in Canada, when you're forced to learn another language like French, it's only like one class a day or one class a week or whatever. So it's not enough to be immersed, and you don't actually really learn anything.
No.
It's kind of a waste of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
As we're here, it's like you're very
Practicing it.
Yeah, you're practicing, and like I've seen with my kids, like it's only been a few months since they started school, like maybe 2 months now. They're picking it up already, and then in their class, you'll see some like European kids, but then they're fluent in Spanish, and they don't even speak whatever language, like German or whatever.
They just
They
speak
just
it at
speak
their
Spanish.
house.
And they
Yeah.
have the accent too.
Yeah.
Like my son
No
sound,
way.
yeah, it's
It's pretty crazy.
It's wild.
He's like a native speaker, right?
yes.
100%. It's wild to see and very cool. And like you said, the diversity in the classrooms is insane. Like there's so many different nationalities, and they get exposed to it. And I think at a younger age, if you're continuously exposed, it helps a lot. Like you can learn a lot of languages. Like I can speak 3, but that's because I was exposed to them at a young age.
Yeah.
But now trying to learn Spanish in my adult years, it's much more
It's
difficult.
harder, right?
You know, so I think if you're younger and you're just exposed to it constantly, like you'll pick it up. It's way different. It's
Yeah, here is we usually get English throughout the whole grades,
sure.
and in high school, if you have a certain level of English, now you get to learn French.
Right.
Mandatory. Yeah,
Oh,
but
really?
for kids to get there, they actually first need to want to learn English
Right.
because happens as the same as you said. why would I learn this? I don't need it. I'm not going to use it. So they don't actually learn it. So they never get to go to French.
Yeah.
And they pass their whole schooling years trying to learn English, and they never do.
Yeah, and when we came here, we hear next to no Spanish in Ontario in Canada, like never.
No way.
Unless you know somebody who's Spanish.
So we came here, and my kids went to the Semana Santa. The school had a two week come and play with the kids and stuff, and they started school, that next school year, and that was the only Spanish they've really heard before. And it's like, okay, have fun, but when you put them into that element, it allows them to grow and to learn this.
It's a sink or swim,
right? And if they want to have friends, everybody
they need to adapt, right?
And they do. So
They have to.
it's.
Yeah, like I've noticed it with our youngest daughter. She's 4. This is her first year in school at this point. Again, we never spoke Spanish at home, ever. They've probably never heard it. They get here and they're like, what? And then we didn't think like they were picking it up, but now she will actively just start speaking Spanish at home.
No way.
Like to us, and we're like, oh. And it's only been 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like she just learned to speak English, right? Like not that long ago because she's 4. So let's call it 2 years she's been talking, like actually. But now it's probably going to go away, and she's going to develop Spanish accents with Spanish language is probably her first.
No way.
I would imagine. Like she'll know English, I'm sure.
Yours is English, the first one, or
First
French?
was English, then French, and then Indonesian.
No way.
So it's my dad's from Indonesia, so my parents speak it, my mom learned it, and obviously
You
to
guys speak it,
communicate,
yeah.
and then we speak it. So I think it was just a byproduct. Like my mom said, I didn't really actually start talking till I was almost 3 because I was just inundated with 3 different languages.
So much going on.
So I was like, ugh.
That's something interesting, because for example, with your dad you speak Indonesian, with your mom you speak French,
Yeah.
and then you speak English throughout the whole day because your
Yeah.
daily activities, right?
Right.
And that's how you get to pick it up.
Yeah, you just get immersed.
I
in
mean,
it.
all 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah, I
And
think
because they're sponges at that age.
exactly. Like it just sticks, Like my mom was actually kind of worried. Like I would talk at home, obviously, but she's like, "Does he?" Like I went to a French school, so English was our like secondary language there. So from kindergarten to grade 8, it was all French. And if you got caught speaking English, you get in trouble.
No
way.
Yeah, so that was my exposure, but my mom had never heard me speak French. But then she's like asking the teachers, does he even speak French? She's like, oh yeah, he's perfect.
Fluent, very
But
fluent.
I refused to do it. And then one day she heard me, and like eventually everything just started coming out. Like, because I guess I was just processing it for a long time. But yeah, like it kind of happens when you're young and you just soak it up.
And that's awesome because you're replicating that here with
Right.
your kids. And that's something that when people want to move down here, they have to take that into consideration if they have a family or they want to start
Right.
a family, because for sure you have kind of Mexican kids, right?
Sure,
And
definitely.
that speak Spanish.
I think Spanish is going to be a language that people need to learn. I've said it before, like I think Mexico is on the up for economic booming.
Yeah, growth.
It's gonna explode. So people said learn Mandarin, which is probably still valuable, but I think Spanish would be a really valuable language to learn going forward.
Yeah, I think more than 20 or 30 countries speak Spanish. So
It's huge,
if you want to move around,
definitely.
Yeah.
it'll help.
With different dialects, though, it's
It's crazy how we speak the same language and it's very different from one another.
the different slang too. I thought I knew more, and then I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Try to speak with a Cuban.
Yeah.
For me, that's the hardest one.
Yeah.
I don't understand them and they speak Spanish.
It's like us with people from Newfoundland
Yeah.
when they speak.
Or with Irish people.
Yes.
Their accent is
Yeah, it's tough.
hard,
That's a hard
for me
one,
to
yes.
understand English. And I do speak it, right?
Yeah.
And I watch movies in
Yeah.
English. I hear music in English. But when I hear an Irish guy,
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. Slow down.
Yeah.
I think it's slow down. Like even here, conversing with some locals who speak obviously fluent Spanish, some of them will speak so fast that I can't, like my brain can't even process the words that they're saying. And I'm just like, what? So I have to ask them to slow it down, and then they'll slow it down. But I'm like, can you slow it down even more?
You know, because here we don't only get a lot of foreigners, we also get a lot of Mexicans from all over the Mexico.
Of course.
And we all have different dialects or
Sure.
accents, depending if you're coming from the north, from the center, from the east. So even for us, for example, if you hear a person from Veracruz speak,
Fast.
man,
Is it?
yeah, they talk funny.
So it's different slightly.
It's very different.
But yeah, like the Spanish is when you hear a fluent Spanish speaker go, like it just rolls. But it's
The
like,
R's, right?
yeah, literally. But everything just flows, and it's like when you break it down, the words, some of them are quite long. You're like, there's a lot of syllables you have to pronounce, and it's like fascinating to watch them just like spit it out, like just so naturally.
But you guys will get there. I'm pretty sure.
Hopefully,
We're a very embracing community.
yes, 100%.
That's the best part about coming and living here is embracing in the culture here and just attempting, because I've from living here I've noticed that as long as I try to speak Spanish, it doesn't matter how bad I butcher it, how bad my grammar is.
We'll celebrate you.
They're so happy that you're trying.
Yes.
It's true. Like,
Yeah, and I think that's why we also picked Mexico. Is we've always loved the people, we always love the culture and the food, and like we don't want that to ever change. But everybody was also very embracing and like very open to receiving and talking with you and like not being rude. Like if you go to some other places, like I'll even say this, like Quebec, if you go there and you don't speak French,
I've been there.
it's
Yeah.
rough.
You get eyes rolled.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not good to feel that if you're visiting. You're like, oh, they're kind of jerks. You know what I mean? So that's for us. We love that about Mexico.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that will be like a good closing statement, how welcoming we are.
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure that you guys share your experience here, and it will help a lot of people trying to make that decision. Anything you want to say goodbye to the podcast?
No, not really. Check out my social feeds, I guess. Mexican Vlogs, SS. It's the same for every single social media platform. And I think if you have anything.
yeah, no, it was great to be on here, and
Yeah.
thank you for sharing the space.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
I
having
mean,
us.
I'm pretty sure that we'll have you guys again. We usually open up second invites.
Cool.
But yeah, let's close it out then. Thank you guys.
Take
You
care.
guys.